Sorry, Josh.
What is the, can you give me sort of or three phrases? I'm looking for what is the theme of engineered systems really mean for the CRM?
Oh, a huge amount.
Link those together.
Huge amount. So let me be very clear, right? So when people are deploying CRM, we have to qualify and certify on all the possible platforms. So I have to run Siebel, we call it the death matrix. I have to certify Siebel on browsers, on operating systems, on application servers, on databases, against various pieces of the stack, networking protocols, like HTTP, HTTPS. I have to do all that. And so we end up testing and validating Siebel on about close to 200 permutations. And what's really annoying is when a customer calls, the chances of them having exactly the same as I have is almost impossible. They will have patched something 2 weeks ago that I didn't test. So I end up having to build these stacks to test to figure out where the issue is so I can reproduce it. And then the funny thing happened about 2 years ago. A customer called me and said, tell me exactly what you run Siebel on. Every single part of the stack, tell me exactly what you run on. And then every time you do anything to it, you tell me. Because I'm going to copy you. Exactly. Because I reckon if I stay on exactly the same stack that you're running, chances are it's going to run really well. Chances are there's not going to be many bugs. So you just tell me exactly what to buy. And we told them, and they said, great. And they bought it all, and literally I send them notifications through IT every time we change it. And they follow me religiously. And they're like, it's really good experience. Product works great. Support knows how to help me. Life is good. And so for that, if I can eliminate those permutations, if I can eliminate duplication of environments and give customers a really simple, run it on this box, then I can divert all that resource into application development and give my customers a better TCO.
So that sounds like the argument with SaaS.
No, I think SaaS, so we're running Exadata for our SaaS deployments, which is nice, but I mean, SaaS I think has challenges in that, its democratic nature has some downside, right? It has things called limiters. It has things like upgrade windows that you can't control. It has less capability around things like analytics.
But that still has to do with who you are as a vendor and what program you put in place.
Sure. No, I will tell you, I think definitely SaaS from an engineering perspective, I only have one version 2, the one I'm running and the one I'm building. That's nice. And I control the stack, so that's nice. But in a company where they have data centers, they're wanting to deploy the simplest, most efficient platforms they can. And so we give them Siebel that runs like 8 times faster on Exadata than anything else in a configuration that I test religiously, and they can get better support on. It's like, and Larry said this once, I look back at the data, IBM, when they had the AS400, they had it all. It was a multi-billion-dollar business for them. I think the AS400 business at its peak was bigger than, orders of magnitude bigger than like the Unix business. It was just one of the most successful things they ever did. And that was because people were like, the AS400 comes with accounting software on it. And I don't have to figure out, when you make a buying decision now for on-premise, you've got to buy the application, and then you've got to go through about 11 other decisions from about 11 other vendors potentially to get it to work. And I just think that layered model has some challenges. I'm a simple guy, right? So I'm in CRM. I always tell people it's a fact of life that everything commoditizes. Everything will commoditize. It's just a matter of time. And I think applications and business processes are commoditizing. So when they commoditize, you have to run them better, faster, and cheaper. That's the only way you can differentiate yourself, right? If I have exactly the same process as my competitor, exactly the same, then they're going to say, okay, looks like they're the same, price. Everybody goes to price. And so TCO is what drives, price. So I think the company with the lowest TCO wins.
Are you able to prove that lower TCO?
Yeah. Siebel runs 8 times faster.
That's a marketing statement, with all due respect.
No, I think if you ask our customers why they're buying Exadata, I think they'll tell you it's a very fast box, but the Oracle stuff is built around it. And when I have a problem, I call one place.
That's the larger picture, and I appreciate it. In the CRM space, I certainly run into customers, who are looking for this answer.
Yeah.
In some real hard things.
Yeah. Well, so TCO is made up of CapEx or OpEx, right? People cost and integration cost.
That's a very slim number of factors.
Well, what else is there?
There's license and maintenance.
Of course, buying the software.
Integration costs.
That's what I said, integration costs. People to run it.
Cost of migration, data quality. It's a very complex
Sure. What I'm saying is...
lend itself to Exadata is X times faster.
No. But I still think that, there's the buying it. So you could arguably buy an Exadata box that's 8 times faster, or buy the other person's box and buy 8 of them. It's not exactly right, but you get my point. So price performance is an important factor that sets up the license. And then you've got to look at, buying it from one company is you're likely to have a commercial advantage as opposed to buying it from 11 companies. You're only going to have one contract. You're going to have one phone number for support. And you know that configuration is rigorously tested by us. Now, so it's interesting. I actually think what really makes our TCO start to really fly is Fusion running on Exadata. So if you think about Fusion apps, we can affect the TCO. The first thing is the Fusion apps are priced exactly the same way as the other apps. So there's no extra price. That's a good thing. So if you own Siebel sales, you get Fusion sales. The really next thing is how can I affect TCO? Well, because Fusion's based on Java, I would argue that finding skilled Java people is a lot easier than finding people that know SAP, that know Apex. So the price of a person to run and manage and maintain the Fusion applications should be less. The other thing is because Fusion is a suite, all of the modules are already integrated. So if you start with Fusion Module 1, and then we think we've got a really compelling reason for you to buy Fusion Module 2, because 1 will integrate to 2 at no cost. And then Module 3 starts to look really good. And then 4 looks even better. And we in GA have got 100 modules already built on the same data model, on the same framework, on the same UI. And I think that's a pretty compelling thing for TCO, because you have to assume the process will commoditize. So Fusion will have the processes, and then it'll just come down, I think, to 2 things. It'll come down to TCO on the back end and the user experience on the front end.